welcome to our YouTube channel. This is Angel of Team Zulueta. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for future videos. So, hello! Ayan na. O, diba? May mga guests ako. Hello. Kumusta?
Mabuti naman.
Kumusta?
Ngayon, nandito na, finally.
Finally, ayan. Welcome to Tony Talk. O, diba? Nakaputi sila. Attend po sila ng binyag ng anak ko. Finally, eto na ang most requested vlog. Millions of our followers, milyones kami, they are requesting on how to become a registered nurse here in Australia. And we will be talking about this topic today! Ayan, kaya ako may merong mga special guests kasi yung aking pathway is already phase out. So, wala na. So, hindi ko na ma-explain. Kailangan ko na ng tulong ng mga specialista, mga doctors. So, we have Harold and April! Yay! Mag-asawa po sila. Oo. So, background muna. So, for me, syempre, naging registered nurse ako dito. Nag-start 2017. So, way back then, we just had the bridging program. For me, it just took 9 weeks for me to become a registered nurse. Ay, hindi pa pala. 9 weeks to study. Then after that, ayun na. Tuloy-tuloy na yon. Mag-RN ka na, then work. Okay? But for them, they are taking 2 different pathways. So, we have, for April,
The conversion program.
and for Harold,
The OBA or Outcome-Based Assessment
program. So,
Yan.
So, magkaibang pathway para sa mga gustong pumunta dito na student visa, kunin natin ang pathway ni April na conversion program. Ibig sabihin, pag naka-student visa ka, you can work for how many hours?
40 hours per fortnight.
Okay. So,
Yes.
ang fortnight in the Philippines, kinsena.
Kinsena.
Every 2 weeks. So, syempre, baka
Every
may...
kinsena.
Oo. May mga viewers tayo na nasa Philippines. Fortnight na So,
Every
yan.
2 weeks, yan.
Every 2 weeks. So, pwede kang mag-work. Ayan. But, for Harold naman, na hindi pala conversion, ang tawag doon?
OBA.
OBA, yung outcome-based assessment, walang visa-visa yon. Magvi-visa ka na lang kapag nandun ka na sa second part,
yes.
second stage na i-discuss natin later. Okay? So, for now, we will talk to April.
Yeah.
April, ano yung mga pinagdahanan mo sa buhay?
Marami.
Papaiyakin pala siya.
Oo.
Tony Talks kasi, ano yung nakapagpaiyak sa'yo dito sa Australia? Marami.
Marami.
Okay, so pag-uusapan natin yung conversion program. So, what is the conversion program?
Conversion program is a 1-year study of Bachelor of Nursing here in Australia, and it's for those who are internationally qualified nurses who want to convert their license to Australian license.
And the visa, of course, is that we mentioned a while ago.
Student visa.
Student visa, wherein you can work for 40 hours per fortnight. Quincenas katapusan! So, ayan. Tatanungin natin si April kung nag-agent pa siya. Kasi nung time ko, during my time, I did not use any agency to apply for my bridging program. I did it on my own with the help of my colleagues na nauna nang nagpunta dito. So, we're very lucky na ginaid nila kami kasi meron kaming mga classmates sa bridging program na talaga namang gumastos ng hundreds of thousands, ayan, at millions pa kung tutuusin sa Philippine peso naman. Pero malaking bagay yon na natipid ko na ako ang nag-apply. So, for you, April, did you use agency?
Yeah, so in my case, we sought professional help and advice from an agent. So wala kaming binayaran, as in nothing, zero.
Very good.
Yun, so from first step until mapadala nila ako dito, they guided us, and yun, wala, free siya talaga. So there are agencies na mayroong may bayad, pero yung sa amin, yun, free siya, wala.
What is the name of this agency?
It's AMS Global in Makati.
AMS Global, Bikini. Free ano na to, ha? Ayan, okay. So, first step, ano yung hiningi nila sa'yo?
Okay, so first step, so they asked me to submit all requirements, so personal and yung mga educational, yung qualifications, the documents. So, personal, yung passport copy, birth certificate, marriage certificate, transcript of records, diploma, related learning experience, and yung sa PRC.
Okay, so take note of those requirements, guys, ayan, so that you can prepare. So when you approach this agent ba or agency, did you take the English exam?
So, yung time ko, I didn't take any English exam yet. So, IELTS, PTE, wala pa. So, what they advised me to do is to take the English qualifying exam dun sa university that I was applying for.
So that is Deakin
Deakin
University.
University.
So Deakin University will give you a chance na instead of taking that IELTS.
Yeah, for those who haven't taken any English exam yet, so meron silang English qualifying exam. So pag napasa mo yon, then go, pwede ka na mag-apply.
Which
Pwede
is
ka na mag-enroll.
essay type.
Yeah,
Diba,
essay
Tem?
type lang siya. Very easy.
So, wow, easy.
Easy.
Easy, tapos nosebleed
Yeah.
ka. Ayan. So, yun. Easy para sa kanya kasi napasa niya. Okay. So, yun. So, since napasa mo yun, hindi mo na kailangan mag-IELTS. Pero kapag bumagsak ka, kunwari,
Kung hindi mo mapasa yung English qualifying exam nila, so they will give you an opportunity or an option to take they call it Duality, so Deakin University English Language Institute. Yung English units and then yung nursing program. Kailangan ma-complete mo muna siya.
mauna yon.
Yes.
So
Ganun
you will
siya.
study for 6 months.
Yes.
And then, pure English lang yon.
Yes.
After that, you will start with another year for the nursing program. Ang haba. Ipasa mo na lang yung essay. Ayan. What if naman, hindi ka na nag-enroll dun sa 6 months, nag-IELTS ka na lang, pwede ba yon?
Oo, mas okay yon.
Kaya lang...
Kasi ipe-present
okay.
mo lang naman sa kanila na, meron ka ng English exam.
Okay, so dalawang option, guys. Kung hindi ka naman nag-IELTS, ipasa mo yung English exam ng, kunwari, Deakin University, na walang bayad yon. Walang
Free.
bayad. Pero pag bumagsak ka at ayaw mo pa rin mag-IELTS, may bayad yung 6 months course for English alone.
Yes.
Okay. So, parang kung bumagsak ka, parang try mo muna mag-IELTS, no? Bago ka mag 6 months kasi additional na naman na stay mo dito, nag-aaral ka. Okay, clear? Clear? Clear na sa akin. So, after passing the English? Buti nakapasa ako. English exam, what is the next step?
Enrollment na, bayad na ng tuition fee, and you also have to pay for the OSHC. So, it's the Overseas Student Health Cover.
Insurance yon?
Insurance yon. So, dapat meron kang insurance pagdating mo dito sa Australia.
Oh, wait. Para naman may idea yung viewers natin, magkano muna ang tuition fee?
Okay, so yung 2019 yun nung nag-enroll ako, 17,000 per term.
Per term.
Per term.
So, 2 terms.
Two terms siya.
So, 17,000 times 2.
Mga 34 at 35. $1,000 Australian dollar.
Sa bagay kasi, bridging program for me, yung pinakamurang school na dito, 9 weeks is 11,400. 9 weeks lang yun. Eh, yun 1 year naman. At
1
may
year.
working rights sila. Nung
Yes.
ako, visit visa lang ako dahil 9 weeks lang ako dito nagstay. Okay, pwede na rin siguro yun. Oo, mayaman ka naman. Hindi, nag-work ka naman, so nako-cover naman kung kahit papano.
Yes.
Na-cover.
Yes, actually yung first term lang talaga yung binayaran namin. Second term,
Covered?
pinag-ipunan lang namin dito.
Wow! See?
So, kayod para makapagbayad ng
So,
second
first
term.
term, ipon niya. Second
Second
term,
term.
galing na dun sa in-earn niya. So, sa
Yes.
40 hours per fortnight, quincenas katapusan. So, luckily kasi din, sa time ni April, nag-ease ng parang yung limit ng working hours sa
because
mga...
of COVID.
Yes, binigyan sila ng chance. Kasi lalo na nurses, dahil sa COVID, binigyan sila ng chance na mag-work unlimited. Yun
That's
yung
right.
magandang nangyari sa COVID sa Australia. Siguro pinagpasalamat nito na nagka-COVID. Kasi talagang unlimited hours yung mga student visa natin dito na nakatulong sa kanila para i-support nila yung kanilang studies, yung mga kailangan nila, rent, food, lahat. And we're blessed na yung Filipino community dito, nagtulungan din. No? Nakikita naman natin yan sa Pinoys in Melbourne na nagtulungan talaga. Yun lang, commercial. Okay, so after you have submitted all of the requirements, enrollment, what is the next step?
So, they sent me the confirmation of enrollment. So, yun yung tinatawag na COE. Yun, after ko ma-receive yung COE, ready na for medical.
And for
And then after ng medical, visa application.
Yes, which is the student visa. So after all of the applications, everything, your payments and all, April went here in Australia and lived the Australian dream. So she finished already her Bachelor's of Nursing
Yes.
in nursing. So after graduation, what did you do?
So, yun na. So, submit all your documents to APRA to become a fully registered nurse here in Australia.
Yay! During your student visa days, ayan. At ito, yung work mo, anong mga naging trabaho mo?
For 1 year while studying, I worked as assistant nurse in
Assistant
hospital.
nurse. You don't have any certificate for that? You'll just, since you are a registered nurse?
Since I'm a student, nursing student, so qualified ako to work as an assistant nurse.
Okay, so good. So if you are a student nurse, you are qualified to work as an assistant nurse.
Yes. And marami pang ibang jobs na pwede na.
Okay. So as an assistant nurse, roughly, magkano yung hourly rate nila?
So casual rate kasi yung sa akin. So nasa 34 per hour.
Not bad! It's so high na, ha? Kasi casual.
Casual rate yon.
Oo. Pero kasi talagang magiging casual ka lang naman dahil
Kasi
20 hours per week ka lang eh. Uy, okay na siya. Ang taas. 34 hours. Ay, 34 hours.
Pang second term yon.
Pang second term. Kaya pala nakakaipon. Okay. So, malaking, ano yun sa inyo? Kumbaga, motivation to come. Yes, you will pay this much, but then while you are here, you can work and have this salary naman.
Yes.
Diba? Thank you so much, April. Ayan. I will come back to you later.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, napaka-formal. Yan, for our second guest, wow, let's all welcome Harold!
Hello! Hello everyone!
Oh, hello everyone. Napaka-serious niya. So, for Harold, luckily, meron siyang wifey na naka-student visa. So, yun yung ginawa nila. Siya naman, yung isang pathway ang iti-take niya. Okay. So, ano yung pathway mo ulit?
Yes. So, yung pathway na iti-take ko is yung outcome-based assessment o yung OBA, which is consist ng dalawang klaseng exam. Una is yung NCLEX exam, which mostly sigurado ko na narinig na ng mga Filipino nurses. And yung susunod is yung OSCE exam, which is basically para siyang practical exam.
So, for OBA, our first step is to have the...
So, una, magre-register ka muna sa AFRA. Bibigyan ka nila ng account, and then after nun, you can proceed sa SelfCheck online. So, meron sila, nag-provide na sila ng sarili nilang ways for internationally qualified nurses to check which stream ka pwedeng mag-enter as a nurse here in Australia.
After having the self-assessment, or self-check, you will be able to know if you are under Stream A, B, or C. When you say Stream A, it means that you hold a qualification that is substantially equivalent to what they have here in Australia. But if you are under Stream B, it means that you hold a qualification that is relevant to the profession, but it is not substantially equivalent to what they have here in Australia. And Stream C, you hold a qualification that is not relevant to the profession and it's not substantially equivalent to the... Basta yun. To what they have here in Australia. So, most Filipinos, syempre, since we graduated in the Philippines, we are falling under Stream B. It means that we hold a qualification. Yes, it is relevant to the profession, which is nursing. Yes, but it's not equivalent to the standards of Australia. That's why we have to undergo these exams. And for example, or the other one is conversion. That's why you're converting your license. You have to study for a year because we are not qualified, diba, to practice here as registered nurses. For the self-check, did you have to pay?
Yes, so you have to pay 640 Australian dollars. It's a non-refundable one-time payment for you to proceed dun sa self-check, for you to nextly to be determined kung ano yung stream sa kadadalhin.
So, nung ginawa mo yung self-check, did you have to submit documents? May kailangan ba silang i-prepare?
Dun sa self-check, online lang lahat yon. So, you have just to answer yung questions nila. But eventually, after mo ma-finish yun, na-lead ka sa stream, meron mga relevant documents that you have to submit to them. So, isang requirements dun sa self-online check is you have to have an English exam.
After paying $640, finishing all of the orientation, what is the next step?
So, next step is yung portfolio update. In this stage, kailangan mo mag-upload ng mga documents, yung mga relevant documents, your qualification, and your identification, yung mga passports, etc. Yeah.
All of the documents that you will submit is attested or notarized. If you are in the Philippines, dapat na notaryo yan. If you are here in Australia, onshore, you can ask your pharmacist friends, your doctor's friends, your nurse's friends. They can attest it for you. So after you have created your portfolio, all of the documents have been uploaded. So the next step is to wait for APRA to send you the...
APRA will send an email verification regarding dun sa lahat ng mga documents na sinubmit mo. So,
if they are legit or not.
Yes. So you have to make sure kasi in my case, it took me months bago ko ma-receive yung parang go signal from them to proceed dun sa next step, which is to apply for the NCLEX exam.
For NCLEX, you have to register under Pearson VUE. And you have to pay this amount.
And once you pass ng exam, yan, maghihintay ka na naman, I think it's around 6 weeks to receive yung result nung exam mo. So
luckily, let's congratulate Harold. He passed the NCLEX exam after 6 weeks. Ayan. So for now, he's preparing for the next step. What's the next step?
Yes. So yung next steps is yung OSCE or practical exam yon.
Okay. So, OSCE stands for Objective Structured Clinical Examination. It is a multi-station clinical skills assessment method that is based on objective testing and direct observation of the student. Student pa lang kasi hindi pa siya registered nurse. So, it's like a practical exam as mentioned by Harold. So, if you wanna know what is the content of this OSCE, APRA has the handbook.
Yes, they have a candidate handbook on their website.
Okay. So since it is a practical exam, how many days do we have to take the exam?
So yung exam, it will take 1 day only.
Oh, 1 day lang. So 1 day na nakasalalay ang kapalaran mo kung papasa ka or hindi. So practical exam siya. And where will you take the exam?
Yes, dito sa Adelaide, South Australia.
Okay, you have to go to Adelaide. And Harold is already onshore, so it's easy for him kasi visa siya under the wife, so he can go in Adelaide. But for those who are in the Philippines, you can apply for a visit visa to go to Adelaide for the exam. Ngayon, kung bumagsak ka, NCLEX, o kaya, syempre hindi ka naman makapag-OSCE if you did not pass the NCLEX. So kung kunwari, pumasa ka ng NCLEX pero bumagsak ka ng OSCE, do you have to take NCLEX again? Or as long as valid pa yung NCLEX mo, you can still take OSCE?
You can still take the OSCE.
After you pass the exam sa OSCE, what is the final step?
So, final step is registration.
Registration. So, magiging RN ka na officially here in Australia! Ayan, ang dami natin pinagdaanan para lang maging RN. Ang tagal na natin nag-aral sa Pilipinas. Tapos, pagdating dito, di ka pa rin qualified. So, yan. So, let's call again April. So, welcome back, April! Ayan, thank you so much naman. Ang dami nating natutunan. So, i-summarize lang natin, lalo na yung expenses. So, if you will take conversion pathway, roughly you will spend $35,000 for a year without the student visa pa yun, ha?
And
ano
yung
lang yun? Enrollment lang yun and insurance. But if you will take OBA, parang Obama, OBA, ayan, you will just have to pay maybe $5,000 to $6,000 Australian dollars. So, mas mura pa rin siya. So, OBA is the cheapest way, but hardest way. Kasi you have to really study, take the exam, the practical exam, the NCLEX exam. So, yun. It's up to you guys now. It's in your hands kung ano ang pipiliin nyo, conversion or OBA. Ayan. Again, thank you so much, Harold and April. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you learned a lot. And I hope we inspired you to come over here in Australia. So, if you have additional information about becoming registered nurses in Australia, please comment down below. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future video. Again, this is Team Zulueta with April and Harold. Bye!